My name is Narav Patel, and I started UNT in the fall of 2000. And I came to UNT because its debate program had a tradition of excellence at a national level. It was a program that was funded to allow for students from across the country who had engaged in debate in high school or who were interested in doing it in college to really have a platform to be able to compete and to be able to be successful. And for me, debate over those 4 years was very important in developing critical thinking skills, the capacity to analyze complex issues and synthesize them in means that would be digestible for a range of audiences. And 22 years later, as I run a relatively successful business and have had a number of professional experiences, I look at those 4 years as being instrumental and value differentiating because of the program that UNT Debate was able to build, and simultaneously the resources and the funding that the program was able to attract both from the student body as well as from the university.
So when I think of debate, I think of community, I think of relationships and the way that we interact with other people or people who we don't even know but are behind a screen in the virtual world. We're able to connect with them more because the way that we understand each other through research. So not only in the way that we compete is supportive, but also the way that UNT fosters support. And
I think debate is the single most important thing I did to prepare me for my life. After I went to North Texas, I went to Harvard Law School, and I, because of debate, did well there. I had confidence because of debate, and I knew how to advocate because of debate. Then I became a law professor for 10 years at the University of Denver. And obviously, debate and community and the skills I learned in debate helped make me a good professor. Now, I tell you, I went from getting the Golden Shaft to getting the Best Professor Award. So I had some learning to do. But debate was the foundation that gave me the ability to do that learning.
Then that provides an opportunity to give us more travel experience. It gives us the opportunity to give students the opportunity to go out and explore the nation. It also gives students the opportunity to compete and experience that sort of camaraderie I described earlier. It also gives students the ability to sort of invest themselves into this, because oftentimes when a team is underfunded or not funded near enough to where it needs to be, students aren't as invested because the program infrastructure isn't where it should be or where it can be.
I get to teach debate in my hometown. I started in 6th grade and debated all throughout middle school, high school, and in debating in college. So I've been doing it for about 8 or 9 years. I've always described it as a space where you can really find your voice. And when you find your voice, you're able to really use it to advocate for yourself and for people like you. And so really that's what my story has been, and that's how speech and debate has impacted me. It's really given me a voice and taught me the importance of leadership and advocacy and sticking up for yourself. I always grew up very shy also. I was never really outspoken. And now I can, spark up a conversation with anyone. I can tell the waiter when my food's wrong, or in more serious cases, I'm able to utilize skills in advocacy and argumentation that I can really advocate for myself and other people.
Without proper funding, debate just isn't, it won't be a productive exercise. In order to actually make debate useful, we have to be able to compete with other programs. That's the only way you get to compete against the best programs, the best researched programs, the best coached programs. And that requires money for traveling, money for coaches. So without that, I think we lose out on a lot of the benefits of debate, and we especially lose out on the ability to meet people and be recognized by people in other parts of the country. That, I think, is one of the most formidable parts of debate, is that people who, regardless of what schools they went to, can understand what I had accomplished in debate because they too had competed at those same tournaments. And I was only able to compete at those tournaments because UNT Debate, when I was there, was a very well-funded program.
And if you look at the history of different programs of North Texas, nothing has been more successful than the debate program. Nothing has earned more national recognition than the debate program. So,
I think that all these skills bleed out into other portions of your life. I know I couldn't have gone to college if I didn't do debate in high school because I was bad at school. I had like a 2.7 GPA, right? Like if I didn't do debate, I wouldn't know. I didn't even read right before I did debate. And all those things have enabled me to do like everything else. And I think it's just so important.
It's just unfortunate that it takes a lot of money these days to support the debate program. It's not a program that brings money in, like, football games, they sell tickets, and music concerts, they can sell tickets, but debate, no, the funding all has to come from a higher power. And you can't support a debate program through tuition or student fees. There has to be money committed to the program long-term and in good hefty chunks.
It gives you some thinking. It makes you think on your feet, because in life you never know what's going to come your way, and sometimes you have to be prepared to deal with whatever's coming your way, arguments or just in conversations. And so I think that's why debate is important. Unfortunately, it's just not taught in the public schools anymore.
Texas in 91, I taught college for 10 years. During the last 4 of those years, I went to law school at night at South Texas here in Houston, graduated with a law degree and started practicing law as a second career in 2001. So debate has been completely formative in my life. The skills that I learned from debate in terms of research, critical thinking, argumentation, analysis, and structure, and persuasion have served me in both my careers, in my teaching career and also in the practice of law. So the skills that I learned from debate, I use every day on a regular basis and would not be where I am today without them.
Money is a really important part of debate. Like many have said, debate is an important activity. It gives them the ability to feel confident in themselves and to advocate for themselves. But money is needed to get people to tournaments, to provide adequate coaching, to fulfill judging commitments. There's so much stuff that goes into infrastructure necessary to help out the kids achieve.
And all of those individuals get back to the institution. So it has value for North Texas because the individuals who participate care to come back and care to participate in the advancement of the university. I think you'll find that all of the individuals that you interview have given over the years financially to the university. Some a little, some a lot, it all varies. But I think you'll find that most all of them do. That's, universities, that used to be one of the criteria, may still very well be for how you measure universities. They go back and look and say, well, how many of the alumni give back to the school? I think you'll find in the debate program, that's probably a much higher percentage. I don't know how you be able to go back and dig that all up, but I'm confident a much higher percentage than you would find in a lot of other activities. And that's why you'll find people willing to be interviewed and advocate the cause because they care for the program, they care for the university, they care for its promotion, they care for its success.
I was in a lot of different things, but I didn't get half as much out of any of those experiences as I did out of debate. Those things were great and they were fun, but debate really helped equip me and set me up for my future. And I think it did that for all of my classmates as well. And everyone who was in there is very successful now. And so I think when you invest in debate, you're investing in future success for the students that are in that program. And I can't think of a better use of money for a university than that's sole purpose is to set students up for success.